Hey, there he is, guys. Hey, come on over. What's up, buddy? Here it is.
Come on in, Otto.
It's whatever, 300 your closest friends. So tell us who you are and what you do here.
Well, I don't know what I do here particularly, but I'm Otto Szebeni. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing for iRacing. And we are here with Scion and Gateway for the iRace4life iRacing seminar.
Yeah.
It's an awesome event that he puts on every year. It's probably one of our biggest, quote-unquote, LAN tournaments that we do.
Right.
Not truly LAN,
Right,
but
right,
you know.
right. I heard someone blinked out. They blinked out of a race here.
Let's just call it a LAN tournament because people kind of understand what that is.
Right.
And it's, it's hard to do without having the infrastructure and the money and stuff to actually pull it off. So, and this is huge because there's guys from all over the country here that may or may not have ever met each other, but have talked to each other for years.
Right.
Yes.
And
so it has been interesting getting to see some of the names that you see on Relative as like, that guy is always in front of me and that guy is always right next to me, and then you get to meet them in real life and you're like, I can't hate you anymore because I met you.
But you know what's really funny is actually, you know how you guys are doing tournament races and stuff, and I figured because everyone's in such close proximity that guys would be more gentlemanly.
Man.
They were wrecking left and right
and
last night.
they still get on the mic and they're like, that wasn't smart, you know?
I'm like, that guy's sitting, 10 feet away from you.
You better watch it.
So that actually surprised me because I figured the racing could be a little bit cleaner, but these guys are aggressive. They want bragging rights.
Everybody wants to know. This is the question I get a lot is, who's this community manager? When is he going to get hired? What's going on with that? Is that part of your deal or anything?
It's a new position.
Right, new position.
And it's not me.
Right.
We realized that it's a very important thing to have kind of a liaison between our customers and I mean, because we all do it. You see Tony, and you see Kevin, and you see Shannon. You see a bunch of guys that actually talk back. We don't have someone that actually organizes this, and that's their job to kind of. And so we have a very passionate community. Some are very vocal, some are not. Some maybe too vocal, but that's a whole different conversation. But we just need somebody to actually manage it, and it's got to be someone. Well, it doesn't have to be, but it really should be somebody that is knowledgeable about iRacing, knowledgeable about sim racing.
So you got someone like in the coffer waiting, or is it like coming soon?
A ton of people have kind of showed interest and interviewed, and but I mean, it's not something that we have to fill tomorrow, but you want to get the right person.
Do you need somebody with real life racing background?
No.
All right, I'm out then, because that's what I got.
Yeah. You almost need someone that's like a master of social media.
We almost need someone like a Matt Malone or something.
I was getting
I
ready.
ain't got time for that. I ain't got time between Mazda races.
Ain't nobody
Come on.
got time for that.
You know, them Mazda races go off at the top of every hour, and Matt cannot miss one.
Yeah.
Now, if there were a pay raise involved.
But no, I mean, but in all seriousness, and this is not pitched to Matt, but it's we need someone that's kind of entrenched in the community already that knows. Okay, so we're members of Twitch. And I have to say that the iRacing Twitch community is by far one of the best Twitch communities to be a part of.
Yeah.
League of Legends, other games that I've watched, nothing beats the iRacing Twitch community, and you guys are the best. We enjoy y'all, but I don't know where I'm
Until
going.
I leave, right?
Well, no.
I leave and he goes, that Otto guy and iRacing, I said, they're jerks.
Well, I would have to say from our perspective, we really we're interacting with the community, and I would have to say, because you hear rumors and stories about other games in their community and how toxic it can be, and they know and we know iRacing community is one of the best, the nicest. They want to help each other out. It's just great to be a part of.
Well,
but,
we obviously appreciate everything you guys do.
Sure.
I mean, and that's sincere. And we were always looking to increase our presence on Twitch. And I mean, I actually had a company come to me the other day and said, "What is your Twitch presence? Because that's the only way that we're going to be involved if you have a certain amount of Twitch." And I've never gotten that request before. It's all about impressions and
So when you talk about Twitch presence and iRacing, your next thought should be Grip TV. What can we do to get associated with y'all? What needs to happen there?
Well, let's talk about that offline.
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
I got a question.
There's all kinds of things.
Is there any rumors for any new promo codes coming out? Like you got something in the works? Like any new stuff coming out for people?
As far as promo codes,
Yeah,
it's like I'll create one right now in like 10 minutes.
He does what he wants. He's like, you
I don't need a business plan for that. I don't need
Renegade. We do what we want. I like you already.
Yeah.
If it makes sense, listen. My job is kind of twofold. Well, it's multifold, but basically it's brand awareness and customer acquisition.
Yeah.
So if I can get new people in, then it's easier for me to create a code. It'll be done in 5
A
10
lot
minutes.
of people want like a renewal code.
Well, yeah.
You know.
Well, sure they do.
Yeah. And I always tell them check your email because
Yeah.
you'll get like 50% off or whatever.
Listen, everyone knows, the community knows we've done a few every year.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, everyone looks forward to
Everyone knows.
the middle of the year and Black Friday is the 50% off.
Yeah, he wants a 99% off code.
Well, of course he does. Yeah. Is he a member? Or is he?
Yeah, he is.
If he's a member, then of course he
Yeah.
does. But at the same time, we have to be very careful from a
Right.
business point of
Yeah.
view. You can
No,
cannibalize yourself by just doing 1,000 of these renewal type promotions. So we want to thank our members for being members, and therefore we know it's important to do promotions for our members. But it's also a fine line, because at the end of the day, it's got to make sense.
Right.
So it's got to be kind of strategic, rather than just throwing out random renewal codes.
Right.
New member codes, like I said,
New members are
I'll
great.
create one right now.
Yeah,
I
No,
mean,
and
that's
we
it.
love new members.
Yeah.
Because
It
it keeps.
It makes me mad. Like I just signed up for iRacing a month ago, and I'm Class C, and it's like, it took me like a month and a half to get a rookie, But all the new guys coming up, it's fun to watch their progression,
It really is.
And their
I think
struggles
it's good I think it's good for all of the existing members. The more new members come in. And I know they're like, guys are very protective about. Well, this is our community. Who are these new guys? I'm telling you, the more people in it, the better for iRacing.
Yeah.
Because they'll give us more revenue to create better content, more content,
Right.
and update, which is going to obviously build the involvement with all the existing members.
Right.
And it's just the more the community, the sim racing community in general grows, I think it benefits all of us.
Yes. Oh yeah.
So
All right.
It's great. And my favorite thing is running rookie street stocks. Everybody in rookie street stocks knows exactly how to do it, and if everyone would just listen to everyone, we'd get through it just fine. And nobody seems to be able to get through turn one, and everyone has their opinion on how to do it, and they're a professional, and it's just great listening to it over the radio.
Yeah.
do I have any presence at IRL races? I mean, we've gone to the Indy 500. Boston's coming around here. We're actually just north of Boston, so maybe. I mean, we have an IndyCar license. We have a good partnership.
The
with
one
them.
in red.
There you go. Read this one
Is
right
Dirt going to
here.
be out by the end of the year?
All right, so maybe you guys have already heard Steve Myers' original announcement, and he said dirt by end of year.
Right.
He has said that.
So you're still on that.
And just so you know, all the engineers think he's nuts.
Right.
Just for the record, okay?
Yeah. That'd be tough.
It's a huge undertaking. We are just, weather permitting, we scanned Eldora this week.
Yeah.
If not, it'll be early next week.
Yeah.
And so we've already gone down to Clint Boyer Racing, so we've already scanned the dirt late model. And I know that our engineers, our track engineer, so Dan Garrison, who was in charge of doing the dynamic track model, is part of this, because the dynamic track model is the it's the foundation to dirt. Even though it's different, but the whole moving on the track
makes sense.
and the whole cushion moving up,
I
and moisture
have
content, and blah
I have
blah
two
blah.
questions about dirt. The first one is, you guys do the epic job April Fools coming out with all kinds of great stuff. So you come out with this dirt video on April Fools, and you have a guy in a lab coat with a magnifying glass.
I'd have to admit, that was pretty funny.
Injecting, he takes a dirt clod and
That
injects
was
it with
pretty
water.
good.
So
Magnifying
everyone's like,
glass.
dirt, April Fools, it's not happening. The next day you're all like, yeah, it's happening. Best April Fools ever, and we get what we wanted.
Right? And again, planned. Marketing genius, right?
Man, oh, absolutely!
Right?
I
So-
thought it was great
so
because
I-
I was like, everyone's messaging me because, like, as far as
he's
the Grip
more
TV guys, I
oval
grew up
side,
on
so-
dirt. I grew up on dirt.
Okay, so you
so
were-
everyone's like, oh yeah. Did you see this? I'm like, guys, it's April Fools.
Yeah.
It's fine. don't get too excited. And then the next day they're like, and we're on our way to Eldora. What?
Right.
So,
Yeah. And the stars aligned there too. I mean, it was awesome because, with our relationship with Peak, Peak Antifreeze, Peak has a really good relationship with Clint Boyer.
Mm-hmm.
Clint Boyer loves dirt, so he's got that dirt late model team. Then, on top of it, Clint is going to be driving for Tony Stewart next year. So Tony owns Eldora. Like it literally like everything.
The stars aligned.
Everything just aligned perfectly. And so what it's allowed us to do is we've also partnered with the University of Northern Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
They have a huge racing engineering program. They actually own a dirt late track. Was it Lima Land? I always say it wrong. So a bunch of those guys are helping us out.
Right.
It's awesome to see all these guys coming out of the woodwork. I mean, we got a call out of the blue from Kyle Larson saying, and he's been an iRacer for a while. He doesn't do a lot of official stuff, but he's goes in there. He goes, guys, this is awesome. If this is real, let me know how I can help.
You think on April Fools are like, wait a minute, are they like totally just like putting this out there on April Fools to just say like we're never going to do it, and then you get the follow-ups and you're like, wait a minute, they're serious.
It's the reason that we did it, and it created awesome buzz.
Good buzz, yeah. That's
so
what
it
I'm
actually
looking
helped.
for.
So then you're talking, you got a partnership with Clint Boyer, who's associated with Tony Stewart. Well, Tony Stewart also owns Sprint Cars, came from Sprint Cars. Kyle Larson's come from Sprint Cars. How long till we get a winged dirt sprint
no
car?
comment on that right now.
Okay, that's fine. No, I'll leave it at that.
He'll be your beta tester.
I would love to be in that.
Obviously,
put me in the seat.
Ultimately, our goal is to have a tiered progression, just like we have on the oval, just like we have on the road. We'd have a tiered progression in dirt. Let's concentrate on getting a couple of these dirt tracks built.
Yeah.
And the dirt late model, get that built and get it right.
Right. That's the one thing I do like about
key.
iRacing is that when they do attempt something, they wait until they can get it right.
And if we don't get it right necessarily, we're going to get it damn close. And don't forget, iRacing is dynamic, so we're always working on stuff. So
exactly.
It'll keep getting better.
Yeah.
But
So for the dirt, you're going to have the late model.
Over here,
Switching over to the street stock really is probably just going to not be too hard to port it over because it's almost the same car.
We've already talked about it. I mean, yeah. Everything that
So-
you're saying is right on.
they're way ahead of us.
Without me spilling any beans,
Yeah.
but there's already content kind of there that needs to be tweaked, but some of it doesn't need to be tweaked all that much.
Right.
So
Cool.
But again, the setups and stuff are another story.
And then Le Mans by the end of the year.
Again, that's the plan.
Okay.
Our plan is to have Le Mans released sometime in Q4. As a marketing guy, I'd like to have it right before Christmas.
Can we get one of those checkpoints right before the long straight so we can all meet up there and do drag races?
Drag racing.
Funny you say that, actually, because now that we have the tourist lap at the Nordschleife, that gave us point to point.
Right.
We never had point to point
Right.
before, so that also getting that functionality in race control opens up a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Just like dirt's going to open up a bunch of stuff. Now you got rallycross. You got, which by the way, I mean, I think we've said that we've already scanned a Chip Ganassi global rallycross car.
Yeah,
all right.
there you go.
Now again, I'm not saying that's going to be out this year or anything,
right.
but all that stuff is already in the. There's a ton of stuff in the works without
You guys never
promising
get bored.
dates
You
and
always got
stuff.
something to work on, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Always.
Oh, VLN subscribing for 5 months in a row. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You got it.
This is crazy, man. This just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going and keeps going.
Yeah, we do drag racing on Sonoma.
Yeah.
Yeah,
guys
and just
do.
clear black flags and stuff. So
Yeah.
we have
There's
a lot
actually
of fun.
one of our support guys actually has a league every Thursday night or something and runs drag racing.
There's that
at
big
Sonoma.
jump though. I think it's on the left lane. You got to be careful of.
Yeah, don't hit that.
But we
again,
did.
People always say, "Why don't you do drag racing?"
Right.
And I mean, we'd love to do drag racing, but it's all about reaction time. Not every. I mean, you got some lag stuff going on. Not everyone's on the same kind of connection.
Right.
So it's really tough to
That
get
would
right
be
unless you
tough.
can.
That would be
stagger
really
something.
really hard to be fair
would be.
and because you're talking about top fuel 4 seconds.
And that's the only
you got 4 seconds to get it right, and if you have even a half-second lag delay,
again,
you can't
that's
recover.
my point. It's all about that reaction
Yeah.
time and getting off the line. And that's right now. We're just not quite there yet with technology.
Yeah.
And that's not iRacing. I think that's the infrastructure. It's just not there yet.
So I did in your talk, I did ask about the grid button, but that literally is what we want, is the grid button in a hosted session. And you guys said you've already thought about it. I mean, is that something that has to do with the fundamental part of the code or the system or whatever that's really tough to just implement? Because when you're talking about a race session, it's a race session. Right now, they're completely separate out. Mm-hmm. So how do you just initiate a start of a race over and over and over in a practice session?
I'm not an engineer, so I'm not going to.
But that sounds like it could be
a lot
an
of
issue.
A lot of the stuff is either physics related, or web related, or database related.
Yeah.
And so what guys have to understand is when you change like one thing, it doesn't just change one thing; it changes like 20 things.
It's like a web.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
The tentacles
and
go forever.
And the more fundamental the changes, the more stuff it affects.
Right.
If you change stuff way up here on the 100th level of a skyscraper, no big deal. You may got one. You start changing things on level 2 and 3 or the foundation.
Right.
It's harder than people think.
So is there a new foundation being built somewhere else right now that's kind of being run parallel?
Yeah. So I mean, when iRacing came out, you got. I mean, it was released in 2008 and was in development 4 or 5 years prior to that.
Right.
So we're sitting on 10, 12, 14-year-old technology. Okay. So and we keep piling on. That's going to cause failure eventually. Okay. And it's going to cause certain issues. And let's face it, we've already seen some of those things kind of rear their ugly heads. So we've kind of planned. I mean, we're in the process of creating a brand new site on a brand new foundation on new technology.
Much more efficient, I assume.
Is that going to be called iRacing 2.0?
We've already done that.
Oh.
But what's going to happen is right now, the website is the door to the sim, and that's a huge bottleneck.
You're right.
Okay. So what's going to be like the new site, the new foundation, is really the whole sim itself is going to be more like separate apps, if that makes any sense. So the front page isn't necessarily going to be the portal. It's without giving too much away.
I get what you're saying.
It's going to make everything much more efficient.
It's going to spread everyone out.
It's going to make things so that they function a lot more cleanly, and that certain things that happen here aren't going to affect things that happen here that aren't going to affect, because that's what's happening now. It's all under one umbrella,
you
one
want
roof.
to spread everyone out, section it off.
Something changes, and it's going to mess up the whole service. So it's going to make everything cleaner, more efficient, more stable, and it'll be able to handle more load and more information. It's going to help with database stuff, web stuff. And so that's been in development, like I said, for probably the last 3+ years already. And they're making strides. I keep seeing stuff on what they're doing. We're getting there. But it'll be a big difference with user interface as well.
You may not know this, or you may not know this, it's more on the technical side, but there's been rumors around there that if you delete all of your iRacing friends, the website loads faster because it's not calling it all in. That question's for Jesperoni.
And again, I don't know the answer.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm just thinking, I
can't delete it. You got to have friends to delete them.
Exactly. I got like one friend. If I get rid of this one guy here.
I had to ask that for Jesperoni because he deleted all his friends from iRacing. He's like, the website loads faster. I'm like, it's pretty slow anyway. It doesn't really matter.
I mean, you know what? In theory, it makes sense, right? You get rid of
stuff,
things
doesn't
load
have to
faster.
load it.
I mean, I don't know, but I'm just talking foolishness because I have no idea.
I had to ask, but so have you done any of the tournament racing here? Do they let you get in there, get in the cockpit, and do anything?
I wish. I want to hop in that sim experience stage 4 out there with the Aki Force wheel and stuff.
We gotta get some video of that.
Yeah, Brony makes some really good stuff over at Sim Experience. But no, I've been shaking hands, kissing babies, talking with people, and that's why we're here. You know, it's great to see the community come out. These guys are passionate, man. I mean, that's why they come out here. You know,
no two rigs are the same too. Isn't it great? It's so personalized.
There might be a couple of Budo Ozones or whatever
Right.
frame, that might be the same. But
Yeah.
after that, that is it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that also makes it difficult for us. It's a hardware thing. So guys are like, well, I want you to add
Right.
this, add this. It's easy on the console because everyone
Yeah.
knows here's your platform,
Yeah.
here's your max. You build
That's very
you
true.
build everything to the max, right? Where we have to kind of compromise because to the scalability of what
Yeah.
people have. It's
Well, people are always checking out the stream and they're saying, "What's this iRacing thing? Those graphics, what's going on here?"
Because
And it's like, well, not everyone has a NASA computer, so we can't have like lens flares and like beautiful stuff and all the physics. Pick one. Obviously, physics are more important.
Well,
So
a lot of
it's
those
like,
guys are coming from the console side.
Well, yeah, they
And
get
that's what they
project cars and they're like, "Oh, this is
and it
beautiful."
looks, and
It
don't
looks
get me
fake.
wrong, it looks gorgeous. No,
it
right,
almost looks fake.
Well, it is because
You know what I
it's
mean?
overdone. It's
You're
overdone.
right.
But it's that eye candy.
Yeah.
People love it.
I know.
People love it.
Eye
So-
candy. I found eye candy doesn't last very long. Look at Minecraft. Minecraft
Yeah.
has been going
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
forever,
That just
and it's a
blocks.
16 by
It's a-
16.
yeah, right.
It's the
Okay?
gameplay.
And
and the
it's
physics,
one of the
right.
biggest games.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you around.
pleasure.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, guys, thanks for your
Good
support,
stuff, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, there
All
he
right,
is,
guys,
folks.
Otto.
Hope you